Hey everyone, welcome to Dollar Diaries.
Raj, thank you so much for coming on. You are the founder of Money Maestro. You've been in the banking and mortgage sector for about 20 years, and it is an absolute pleasure to have you here speaking to us about the state of banking and mortgages in the UAE.
Thank you for having me in your show, Anas. You are bound to sell only that bank product to your customer. You have to prove that it is right for you. Mortgage is a long-term product. You are marrying yourself to a bank for 20-25 years. Anybody want to invest in UAE real estate, they are our future client. See, property is not short-term investment business. It's a long-term vision. The mortgage is not only about the borrowing. The only perceivance about them in the mind of everybody is like they're borrowing from the bank.
You were at a corporate, financial institution doing banking, doing credit essentially, and then you shifted into creating your own place. And now
Yes.
you're the MD of Money Maestro. Mashallah.
Yes.
Walk me through that journey.
So, okay. See, when I started my career in 1990, it was also bank in a collection department. It was my first job, and I was not even completely 19-year-old. I got an opportunity somehow. Then I came to sales in Citibank for 1 year. Then one private financial institution in India, Kotak Mahindra, for 4.5 years. And 2005, I got an opportunity to come to UAE through AB Amro Bank. So throughout my journey from my career was always in banking.
That was the Dutch bank, right? ABN AMRO.
It's a Holland bank, yeah.
Yeah.
Bank Holland.
They still exist here?
No, they don't exist anymore in UAE in retail banking, but they exist only on corporate side.
Sure.
Yeah, but retail banking side, they have already closed. They merged with some other bank. It became RBS, then ADCB right now.
Yeah, they had joint ventures with them.
Yeah.
So you were in retail banking before, and then you
Retail banking always. Then from ABN, I moved to Stanchart.
Okay.
From Stanchart, I started my journey in mortgage in 2007 October.
This is also around the financial crisis.
Yeah. So we have seen all ups and downs in Dubai in real estate market and financial sector. So my mortgage started in 2007 October. Then 4.5 years Stanchart and Mashreq, NBAD, Fab, the Mashreq private banking mortgages. So 2020, I started my own venture. So the objective was, when we are working for one bank, you are bound to sell only that bank product to your customer. You have to prove that it is right for you. But now you're working for all the bank together. We are associated to all the major banks. So I can give my client the best solution as per their requirement.
That's fair.
That's
you're the client's advisor.
Of
You're
course.
not the bank's
So
representative.
client first is our motto.
Very nice. Congratulations for starting up your own thing.
Thank you. Now 6th year, we are growing, we are improving, we are learning.
Absolutely, as you do, when you start a new business, right?
See, being an employee is a different life. When you become owner, you become employer, you have to learn many things new. So life is all about learning.
What kind of services do you provide here?
See, mortgage are core activity because I have, as you know now, 19th year in the mortgage business. So that's my core business completely. So anything related to UAE finance inside UAE, we cater in that sector. But apart from mortgage, since we have large database of our client, so they have different requirement. So apart from mortgage, we can cater our clients for working capital and trade finance.
Okay, and that's for SMEs.
SMEs,
Yeah.
Large SMEs.
And you underwrite those loans, or you provide the credit?
No, we don't underwrite those loans. We create a proposal and we identify the solution for them as per their specific requirement. Then we approach certain bank, whoever can accommodate that kind of requirement, because every bank is unique. They have different target market in their field.
So you almost facilitate the debt transaction.
We save clients time. We bring all solution under one roof for our clients, and we help them to identify the best possible solution. Because see, if you're a client, if you want to take any service, let's say home loan, what you do first? You'll go to your home bank, wherever you have account. Now, how do you decide whatever they're offering is really beneficial for you, most suitable for you, or no? That's the idea. Because as a know-nothing customer, you don't have time and energy to approach different 20 banks and meet them one by one, submit your document, and waste your time. So you need somebody who can do hand holding and guide you properly. Ki, hey Anas, this is your requirement. You are this kind of customer. You are salaried, self-employed, professional, you are resident, you are non-resident, and this type of requirement, because there are different type of requirement in mortgage. Mortgage is not only about the property purchase. There are different type of transactions in mortgage. So based on your requirement, based on your ask, we will see which bank is most suitable for you. And then we'll give you maybe one bank, maybe more than one bank, give you comparison that, okay, this bank is giving you this service, this is the cost, this is the hidden cost. Because see, cheapest is not the bank best always. There are a lot of hidden things which you need to understand, because as a donor thing customer, people generally don't understand and don't read all the financial papers. I'm sure if I ask you a question, did you read your bank account opening application form? See,
I think I asked my HR to fill it out.
and if you read, I think you will never open an account.
No.
So you need someone at least who can do hand holding, because mortgage is a long-term product. You are marrying yourself to a bank for 20-25 years.
With mortgages, let's start from the top then.
Yeah.
Talk to me at the market. In the last 6 years, you've run your own shop.
Yes.
Successfully, mashallah. What have you seen the market outlook be in terms of mortgages, in terms of first-time homeowners, maybe investors who are regular homeowners? What is that market evolving?
This is a very interesting question. See, in 19 years of mortgages in UAE, almost 2 decades, we have seen different shift in the market. There was a time when mortgage used to be a luxury product in UAE. Buying property used to be luxury. It was an affair of millions of dirham, right? Everybody cannot think of buying property. But if you down the line, if you see today, even a person earning 10,000 dirham salary can afford to buy a property. So they're buying property. And they're buying property.
It's incredible.
They're buying property. They just need guidance and how to start the process. They just need someone who can remove the fear from their mind, and they can go ahead.
10,000 dirham salary, buying a property.
And
that's so much risk.
See, the interesting part about the UAE is a very unique market. See, if you compare yourself from India and UAE, in India, people are living from ages. You have your forefather, ancestor property at the background.
Roots.
Maybe you don't need to buy property over there. But in UAE, 85% population is still expat, right? They are living on rent. And rental in UAE is definitely killing everyone. How much everybody paying rent? For one bedroom apartment, if you say average, what's the rent? 40,000 dirham? Anywhere in Dubai, even Sharjah also. If you talk about 2-bedroom apartment, how much you're paying rent? 80 to 100? It's a large amount for your annual income. So on an average, 30% to 40%, everybody is burning in their rent. But if you have an opportunity to buy a property, even 1 bedroom, for small ticket size property, not in posh area, luxury area, anywhere in Dubai, there are different areas like International City, Sports City, DSO, where you can afford to buy a property even if you're earning 10,000 dirham salary.
So you've seen the outlook being that people want to buy.
They are buying. Right now, the property market, I think easily, if you see 30 to 40% is always from end users. Unlike the investor in the past, 10 years before.
Those who actually, they had portfolios of investors.
Yes.
And so what kind of, if it's an investor, let's separate the two. Let's separate end user and investor. If it's an investor, what kind of demographics are you seeing?
Investor, we are seeing from different countries. We have UAE nationals. We have from Saudi. We have from UK. We have from European countries, Chinese.
So very diverse.
They are definitely, because Dubai is welcoming entire world. Dubai has become a global hub. They are creating a platform for entire world to come here, make yourself settled here. It should be your base. Then you operate in the world, because it's between Asia and Europe. So that's the best demographic for anybody who's into business.
True. This time zone also makes the most sense.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of every time zone.
Correct. Yeah. So you are not far from India. You're not far from UK. You are 1.5 hour, 3.5 hour flight from India, or a couple of hours from UK.
Very true. And are you seeing, like, the services you provide these investors are different, right? Someone who lives here, who's an end user, you need to help them remove risk from their mind and perhaps negotiate a term sheet or a mortgage.
Make them aware about what kind of product they're entering into, what will be their future with this investment, how they should be preparing themselves mentally when they're going for this kind of
but if it's an investor from
Yeah.
abroad, do they have to set up a company here? Do they have to make an SPV?
No.
It's a direct investment?
Direct investment. Anybody, any individual can invest in property in UAE and get the bank mortgage. Whether you are living in UK, US, Canada, Europe, anywhere in the world, even India or Pakistan, you can buy property through the bank finance in UAE. You have to contribute certain from your side, 35% to 40%, depend upon bank to bank and customer to customer. And remaining you can get the bank finance. Your tenant will pay your mortgage and you're creating your asset in UAE.
That's amazing. Tell me, okay, I don't want to take your secret sauce, but walk me through an example. Say I live here. Say I've got a 20K salary. Say I come to you and I say, I want to start building wealth.
Yes.
And the way you build wealth is you start with one and you start expanding.
Correct.
How would you advise me to buy?
See, first of all, we need to see what is your vision and what is your ask, and based on your age. Because if you are earning 20,000 of salary, and let's say you are 27, 28 right now, you are not married, you don't need a large house immediately. You can afford to buy a one bedroom studio also. So maybe you can buy one or two studios, or maybe one studio, one bed, one BHK. Buy two properties. One you can put on rent. Let tenant pay your mortgage. Second, you use for yourself, because if you are not buying property for yourself, you live on rent anyways. So you can consider you are paying your rent as a mortgage to bank.
True.
And you're creating your asset.
With a 20K salary, how am I buying two properties?
You can buy property. So only thing you need to see what your disposable income right now and what your down payment arrangement. Because if anyone living in UAE for, let's see why people are coming to UAE. First of all, first question, why I came to UAE 20 years before? To have my employment, to earn money better than my home country. That was the core objective for anyone. Maybe you are as a student in UAE, but if you ask anyone why you are in UAE, to earn, they want to earn better than their home country. They want to earn which is interest free. Oh, sorry, tax free. That's the reason. So when you're earning something better than your home country, what do you do with that money? You save this money. So if you spend, let's say, even 2 years in UAE, you must have saved 200, 300,000 from your 20,000 salary, because you not burn your whole salary every month. There is no objective of being in UAE.
So you'd say the minimum capital you should have is about 200,000.
Not 200. Even if you're buying a studio apartment, which is costing, let's say, around 300 to 400,000, which is ready property, in less than 200,000, you can buy that property easily.
And then do you have...
And very interesting thing is, your mortgage to the bank is always lower than your rental
yield.
So 60-40 ratio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you make sure you calculate, making sure your rent is always above?
We demonstrate to customer. Yeah, we demonstrate to customer how this will react in long term with them, and what should be their vision in 2 year, 3 year, or 5 year. How much they are saving if they were not buying, they were renting, and let's compare both together. If consider their rent will not increase, you will continue paying same rent for 3 year or 4 year, and you continue paying mortgage same way. So what will be your financial equity corpus you will create in your property back? We can demonstrate easily.
Very interesting. And then on the flip side, if now I've bought it, and let's say I bought it for 500,000. Today, the market says it's 650 or it's 600.
Yeah.
Do you then help with refinancing?
Yes, yes. As I said, mortgage is not only about the property buying. Mortgage, there are multiple types of transactions, like property purchase, existing loan restructuring, loan transfer, equity release, land finance, handover finance.
Quite a few services.
Quite a few services. So if you have bought a property in the past, you bought this property, let's say for 500,000. After 2 years, property has become 700. Maybe you can restructure your loan. Earlier, your repayment capacity was, let's say, 5,000 dirham per month. But in 2 years, you have grown. Today, you can pay 8,000 dirham per month as installment. So you can restructure your loan, pay larger EMI, so that your loan will come down faster. You will be saving an interest component into each loan repayment.
But would the interest delta even be that much?
Definitely, yeah. Because in the initial stage, there will be a 60-40 ratio of interest versus principal component in your each EMI. So it will vary. If you can increase your EMI a little bit, or you can make some part payment every year, then definitely your interest component will come down faster. Yeah. So that's a principal and interest ratio which you need to study.
So reducing balance.
So that's what we suggest customer also. Every second year, you need to sit with your mortgage consultant, do your assessment of your existing mortgages, if you have one or more than one, and see what need to be done at this stage based on your today's financial situation.
Have you personally invested in Dubai as well?
Yeah, of course.
Tell me a bit about...
After seeing me, my friend, and everybody had done this adventure.
Congratulations. Amazing.
Thank you.
Tell me a bit about success stories here. It's always nice to hear about, maybe with clients, maybe with your friends, yourself. What do success stories look like here?
See, success story, there are different angles. What do you call success? See, I have managed different types of transactions. There was a dispute between buyer and seller, because mortgage sometimes takes time to conclude one transaction. It will take 4 week to 6 week or 8 weeks sometime. And because of delays, when market is growing, sometimes seller become overexcited. They want to cancel the deal with you. They want to sell to somebody else for higher price. So there are disputes. So there was a dispute of 1 million dirham extra demanded by the seller. So we have to involve ourselves in that transaction to make him understand that the way he's trying to revoke his agreement with the buyer. It's not right.
But is that post like SPA or is it pre-SPA?
Post SPA, after signing the agreement, yes. Post SPA with the buyer.
That's not legally permitted though.
But there are some conditions with which they can play. But they need to understand, even if they want to do in this way, it will not be convenient, because if they want to go legal, and then there are a lot of hidden information actually in this. So we had to save our customer, and we saved him 1 million dirham. And there are a lot of sometimes family dispute with property involved. So we had to involve ourselves, structure the deal where we can, restructure a mortgage, transfer property to somebody else's name, somebody else become borrower.
Yeah, it's very important to have that foundation set so that eventually you can build off.
Correct. So the banker cannot guide. Even a banker is a mortgage specialist in that bank. They cannot guide, because there are multiple dimensions, and every bank has certain mindset, certain product guidelines. So they had to perform under their duties. But when you come to mortgage broker like Money Maestro, so you understand what different information from the market we have collected, and how we can restructure deal, and do your handhold and take it to the right direction.
What would you recommend? What kind of rates are you looking at in the market? Do you think this market would be steady if interest rates stay high over the next few years? Because interest rates are now much higher than they were before, right? Do you think that plays into your logic?
No, see, my interest rate, we are saying higher right now compared to before, but before which period?
Let's say
we have seen period
COVID and just before COVID, that was near zero, right?
No. During the COVID time, when COVID started in 2020, rates were pretty good. But after COVID, rate has shooted up from average rate, if I say 2.75% to 5.5%, close to double. But despite COVID and despite rate of interest in the market, property price also increasing year on year.
True.
So people were making money in that side. So they were not bothered to pay the interest.
Very true. So the capital appreciation itself is...
Interest does not play a significant role in buyer's demand, because property is making money eventually for you. And the second thing, rental was also increasing. If you will not buy, you'll keep paying rent. So that you're burning your pocket.
So you think interest rates being high don't matter as much because property prices
doesn't matter much,
increasing itself.
And property price increasing reason because government had controlled the demand. The government controlling supply as well. They are seeing the market closely. They are opening new areas where a developer can come and play their game. Creating new option like high-end property, average ticket size property, economical property.
Off plans.
Off plan, they're supporting it.
What is your thesis about off plans? Do you think from a financial risk standpoint that makes sense?
See, off plan and ready property is completely different game for different type of investor. If you are first time home buyer, if this is your first property, you should never do adventure in off plan. I would say go for ready property. See, in off plan, what is happening? Can you control the time? No. Can you control the property market? No. Can you control the demand? No. Can you control the property appreciation? No. So how you can play gamble? You are putting your down payment today and property will be handed over to you 3 year, 4 year down the line. You would not know what will happen in the market. If you have ready property, you are living in the property, you are saving your rent, whether the market is going up or down, you're not impacted directly. Right? But if you have invested in off plan, if handover is delayed, market has gone up and down, you will be in financial turbulence because you are obliged to keep paying to developer the payment as per the plan, and still you're paying rent also. Everybody can afford. So first time home buyer should go for ready property for self-occupancy, whether you get the good LTV also from the bank. If you are investor,
LTV.
LTV is loan to value ratio. So whatever you're buying, the property value, how much you have to contribute and how much bank can fund you. So in generally, if you're first time buyer and property value is below 5 million, you will get 80% financial assistance from the bank. You have to contribute 20%. If you're second time buyer, you're taking second mortgage where you have one existing mortgage with you, your contribution will be 40% and bank will fund you 60%. After the irrespective of number of mortgage, every mortgage will be 60%. 40% contribution. Central bank has made this rule, this cap, to make the right practice in the market so that bank do not go over leverage, they don't get over exposed in the financial market, to safeguard the business of the banks, because banks are run by whom? Actually, your money and my money in the bank. So they are safeguarding our money. What happened in 2008? Everybody remember.
Very true.
So the government has learned from that.
And do you also you only advise let's say, end users and individuals, or is it also corporate clients?
Everyone. Anybody want to invest in UAE real estate, they are our future client, present and future. Whether you are a company, you want to buy property for your company for business operations. You are an end user, you want to buy property for self-occupancy. You are a seasoned investor, you want to buy more property, you want to restructure your loans. So everybody, even you are my future client.
Yeah,
Eventually, you need to buy property, right?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
true. Very true. I'll come to you. I'll give you a call.
Definitely.
Very true. And so, do you only look at residential? Because if it's corporate, you could look at manufacturing, industrial. You could look at perhaps I don't know, different use cases like commercial.
Everything
Office
and
spaces.
anything in UAE which can be registered in Dubai Land Department
Mhm.
and which can be mortgaged by the bank. So any property, residential property, commercial property, office space, whole building, warehouse, factories, labor camp, whatever can be done. Because see, for everybody is a different target market. You will not consider buying a commercial property. You will buy properties for self-occupancy. But there are industries, they need to buy office space, they need to buy commercial space, shops.
What's your outlook on office space? Because that seems to be there's the least supply coming in for that, and perhaps the most demand.
See, UAE always had been a market for the end user and investor, but now the commercial space demand is increasing. So far, in 10-15 years, there is very limited supply in commercial space in freehold properties. Freehold commercial has taken place in the market, I think 5-7 years before.
Where are these freehold locations for commercial space?
See, in Sheikh Zayed Road, there are a couple of property. If you go this side, like Dubai South, Arjan, JVC, you'll find few commercial properties, completely commercial building basically.
Okay.
And basically, each and every freehold property will have some shops down the line.
At the bottom.
That is commercial property,
Retail. Yeah.
retail shops. And now the Marina, JBR, it's all there. All shops. You'll find some offices also.
So it's only started 5 to 7 years ago as a freehold.
Freehold commercial, yes.
Yeah.
Because this developer, they started their business from end users demand perspective. They wanted to see that how the end user will react on this market. So slowly they improve. Now commercial property is coming. Now Dubai government has recently given permission for whole Sheikh Zayed Road buildings. They can convert their building into freehold and they can sell their building as commercial office space or retail space. So it now depends upon the owner's wish. If you want,
Is it very expensive to get that license for that conversion?
that is the between land department and I'm not sure about what is the cost for that because we are not in that business. But if somebody owning full building in Sheikh Zayed Road, because previously it was not allowed. You cannot buy any property in Sheikh Zayed Road. Only certain building you could buy. But now if owner want, he can convert his building into freehold and they can sell unit-wise to anyone.
Very interesting. Okay. So your advice for, let's say, young professionals, taking it like that, would be to build wealth, save, and then start investing in real estate immediately?
See, when you start working, definitely you need to save certain portion. And what we have been doing before that, we were investing in equity market. We are saving some money, sending to back home country, buying land. Everybody, the first idea, the safest investment. But yeah, you can consider property also. Even the young professionals, we have seen people 25, 26, recently got married. Now, boy is earning, let's say 10, 12,000, girl is earning 15, 5, 6,000. Collectively, they're earning 17, 18,000 dirham. They can buy a property. Why you should keep paying rent, first of all?
True.
Because, if you keep paying rent for even 10 years down the line, what do you get from landlord? Only thank you. No equity in the property. But if you pay 5 to 7 years for a mortgage, you can become 100% owner of your property. Even if you're taking loan for 20-25 years, you don't have to continue same. There are some practices which you follow. Keep making certain part payment, certain partial payment, restructure your loan. 5 to 7 years, you can close your loan easily. Because we have experiences. The average life of mortgage in anywhere in the world is 5 to 7 years. They'll sell the property, you'll upgrade your property because your demand will increase, your need will increase after some time. And then you can keep doing this.
Interesting. Well, let's say if I wanted to get a mortgage tomorrow, what's like 5 things I got to make sure I have going for me, so I know I'm ready to start moving on?
This is a very interesting question. See, I always tell anyone, whenever you think of buying property, before you launch yourself in the market to research about the property, make sure you do your assessment. So you need to sit with some consultant who can understand your need, your plan, your vision, and see what is your suitability, what is your eligibility. Accordingly, we will guide you. What should be your budget based on today's need? What is your down payment arrangement right now, immediately, which we can dispose from your side? what is your repayment capacity. Accordingly, you make your budget. We can guide you. Okay, based on this requirement, you can go in this direction. Look those properties. Otherwise, you go that side, or maybe which side you should go. Dubai South, maybe DSO, maybe
So you do
JVC.
the market research.
We have some ideas, but we are not involved in property sale purchase. But we can give you idea. But based on your requirement, your range, do you want to buy 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom? If you recently got married, you will be increasing your family size. So you might need 2 bedroom down the line in 2 years. So why you are entering in 1 bedroom today? Because it's not wise to keep changing the property every second year. But there's cost involved in this. Rather, you go for 2 bedroom property today itself and go in this direction. You can buy 2 bedroom apartment in this price range in that area. And then we get your pre-approval done. After pre-approval, when you have pre-approval letter in hand, your brokers will always take you seriously. You're considered as a cash buyer.
What is this pre-approval? It comes from the government? It comes from the...
No, it comes from the banks. So what happens, if you're planning to buy a property, you have some down payment arrangement with you, but you are not sure what will be your loan eligibility, how much you will be paying monthly, what should be an immediate down payment requirement from the bank side. So after doing the assessment, we will get you a in principle approval from the bank. Ki Mr. So and so, you are approved for, let's say, 1 million dirham based on the information that you have provided to us. Now you go search the property in the market. You pinpoint any property. We'll do the property valuation, and from there we convert your pre-approval into final approval. The difference in pre-approval and final approval is pre-approval is telling you your entitlement, that yes, you are allowed to borrow this much from the bank. But for which property, it is not specified. But when you search the property, bank will do the property valuation. Now they will give final approval for that specific property, a specific loan amount, a specific EMI based on that loan amount, and actual down payment requirement from your side.
And do you typically advise like 10, 15, 20? How long is the mortgage?
See, mortgage can be up to 25 years or 65 years age of the applicant. So if you are, let's say, 30 today, you'll get for 25 years. If you're 40, you get for 25 years. But you're 50, you'll get only 15 years.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So you should not cross of 65 years age at a time of loan maturity.
Very interesting. That's fascinating. So people who are older and buying their first property are at a disadvantage.
Correct. Yeah. So you have to have early mover advantage.
Yeah, very fascinating.
You have to act fast.
Yeah, I didn't know this. This is fascinating. Walk me through. They had a new scheme, not scheme, but let's say they had the ability to sign up as like potential first buyer of property, right? The government had something that
government has made some initiative that if you're a first time buyer, they want to encourage the end users, the first time home buyer. They are giving them some relaxations. So what is happening? If you're planning to buy property, you have never bought property in UAE, you have to register yourself in Dubai Rest app. They will take your data, and you have to advise in that app that what you want to do. Buy a secondary property, ready property, you want to take mortgage or no. So data will go to respective banks or the companies. They will they'll give certain discount if buying off-plan property. If you're taking mortgage, bank will give certain relaxation to support you as a first-time buyer.
Oh,
that's the idea.
Very good. Then this helps people buy property. Absolutely, very nice. And are you of the mindset that if your property has appreciated, let's say 10%, not more than that, capital appreciation?
Yeah.
Would you recommend that, hey, sell and buy another one? Or would you recommend saying hold and just wait for years?
See, it depends. What is your vision? Even if you sell the property, what 10% profit, you want to book your profit today. What you will do with that money? You'll buy a second property, but you will have to pay 4% DLD, other charges, broker commission. So how much you saved from the 10% profit?
True.
Rather wait for some time. Let market mature. See, property is not short-term investment business. It's a long-term vision.
What do you think about the short-term rental market? That has been a pretty big...
That is improving because a lot of inflow of the tourists in UAE. The short-term rental doing very good business.
So how would you do, like, let's say you bought a property in JVC.
Yeah.
Do you have to hire a property manager and then make them do it on Airbnb?
See,
or do you list it?
Better you hire a property management company, let them do their job, because there are a lot of rules from Dubai Economic Department, Dubai Tourism Department. Okay. So you need to meet their expectation to keep your property up to certain level if you want to run your property under holiday home business.
And this has to be freehold. You can't buy, let's say, a leasehold property.
And no, you can buy leasehold property. You can buy freehold property. There is no problem. Leasehold property as good as freehold property. Some technical terms that leasehold is for certain period, like 99 years. But who knows the vision more than 99 year anyways?
And do you pay like an extra rent every year for leasehold or nothing?
No. There is no lease rent.
Okay, fascinating.
There is no annual lease rent on leasehold property. You have to pay one-time transfer fees to the land department.
Same as you would with the
Same like a freehold property, but you have to pay at some service charges every year to maintain the property. Whether you're buying for freehold or leasehold, you're buying apartment or villa, whatever.
Yeah, like literally the maintenance cost, like
Of
20,
course.
25.
Because every building has a certain regular maintenance requirement. Security, electricity, plumbing, all the painting and cleaning, municipality requirements. Of course, there's a cost involved in this.
Very true. In this market, you see prices, they used to be, I think, 1,000 per square foot for maybe a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom. And now it's moving up to 1,800 per square foot. That's a massive gap in like 4 years. Do you think it's still wise for someone to buy it if you're getting a 2-bedroom at 1,800 per square foot?
See, the question here is, can you time the market?
No.
You time the market.
Never.
So if you're not buying today, maybe you'll buy it tomorrow, but market will cross 2,000 per square feet.
So you might as well, if you
Of
have
course.
the cash, you say Bismillah and you start.
Correct. Of course, there will be a limit because of demand and supply rule. Lot of supply will come every year. But at the same time, demand is also increasing every year. A lot of people are coming every year. They're setting up their business. They want to keep their family in UAE. They want to keep operating in different parts of the world. They're working in Saudi. I have seen many clients working in Saudi, but families based in UAE. They are more comfortable in that. They're working in different countries, but operating from UAE. And they're still business is still active in India, UK and China, but they have based themselves in UAE. So they feel more comfortable, luxury is affordable, safest economy, no income tax. Multiple reasons.
This place, once you start living here, it makes it very
You
tough
cannot
to
go
leave.
back. I have seen in my career of 2 decades in UAE, many people, they moved back to Dubai after shifting to like different countries, to the home countries, but they could not cope up over there. Now they come back.
You get used to a certain level, standard of living.
Correct.
And perhaps, 5 years is too long, but next 18 months, what do you see as the trends in the market?
See, fluctuation is always there, but property vision cannot be in 1 year or 1.5 years. Property you have to see always in long term.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you see 5-year vision from today and government vision for 2030 and 2040 accordingly, they have massive plan in place. And by seeing the historical deliveries from the government side in this country, what they have done is a tremendous job. If you compare this country with any other country in your nearby, the speed of this growth in this country cannot be catch up by any other country right now.
True.
So there is a vision, there's a plans in place. So definite demand will keep increasing, people will come. And government is not planning for 18 months or 2 years. Government planning as per 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 20-year plan. Because they have data of how many people will come approximately. So we need to create an infrastructure environment for that prospective numbers.
Do you also handle perhaps inflows into Saudi? Do you look into that market at all?
Not now. Maybe in future.
Is that something you want to look at later?
I would like to definitely, yes. Because definitely the Saudi market is also increasing now. A lot of demand is generating over there. Businesses are flourishing.
Yeah, because I think what we're seeing is, for the last year and a half until maybe the next year and a half, it's a 3-year cycle, Dubai has had the largest number of projects awarded. And I think Saudi is going to follow right after that.
Correct.
So then you have a 1.5-year cycle for handover, and Saudi.
So there will be competition between Dubai and Saudi in different terms. So yes, but we will have a market over there. We'll have a market, so we have a vision and we have a plan for that.
I think thank you so much for coming on. When I do, inshallah, have to buy a property, I will definitely give you a call.
Definitely, Anas. I'm sure that everybody in UAE is a future property buyer. They need guidance, they need support, and they need clear understanding about the process. Because what happened, property is not something which you don't like and you can return, like a car or like any other like mobile phone. When you bought, you have to be mindful, you have to be vigilant what kind of an agreement you are entering into with the seller and multiple parties, what kind of commitments you are doing with your banks. So you have to take a mindful decision, understand your budget. That is very important. No, don't go over. I always suggest my client, don't go over leverage. Don't be so excited. Make your budget properly. See your financial capacity now till next 5 years. Then plan accordingly. So be in safe commitments, safe agreements,
and plan it out and structure it properly.
Correct. Yeah.
And if you can't, then speak to someone like you who can.
They need a guidance.
Raj, tell me more about how we should think about mortgages. A lot of people have different perceptions of how to view a mortgage, and perhaps you could have the right perspective that you should give to young professionals.
Definitely. See, this is a very interesting question. The mortgage is not only about the borrowing. The only perceivance about them in the mind of everybody is like we are borrowing from the bank. But you need to understand mortgage is a tool to enter into financial investment of real estate. You need to learn how to use this tool and use the bank's leverage to invest in the property market. And because when you use this tool in the right way, your property will earn for you maybe sometime more than what you're earning in whole year.
Fair. So it is that entry into the market that you
Correct.
get.
Entering into the market through the bank leverage. So you have to use this tool. It's a financial
It's
tool.
like what
actually.
people say, you make your money work for you.
Exactly. And now you have to make bank's money work for you.
I like that. Very nice.
Definitely, you have to pay some share to the bank, but eventually the strategy will work for you, and then property will support your financial investment and create your portfolio.
Absolutely. We see that.
So this is a way of seeing into how to use this mortgage.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you,
It was
Anna.
my
Thank
pleasure.
you. Most welcome. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you.